asked that it be recorded because they couldn't join us this morning. I muted everyone for right now, just because if you have background noise on, it gets to be a lot when everyone is online at the same time. You can always unmute yourself. I left that option open, so if you want to jump in and chat, just unmute yourself. It should be in the bottom left corner of your screen. If you hover over your video, it's usually there. Otherwise, if you don't, if you're not talking, it's easiest if everyone just keeps their mute on, just so we don't get a ton of background noise. So it looks like we have 19 people here, which is awesome. I'm just going to introduce myself quick. Welcome to Coffee COrVIDs. My name is Sam Warren. I'm the new Outreach and Education Coordinator with Indiana Audubon. I am not originally from Indiana. I'm originally from central Minnesota, and I went to school in the Northwoods up there. So I'm coming to you from, I was a 4-H coordinator actually in Iowa for a few years, and I wanted to get back into wildlife and do more birds and educational outreach in that aspect rather than the agriculture. So we kind of came up with this idea of some IAS board members have been throwing around different, cyber gathering type deals to get everyone connected during the COVID-19 quarantine. So this is kind of what we came up with for now. We thought everyone would have a good time kind of, just chatting about birds and seeing what's going on and getting together from afar. So I hope you guys enjoy. Obviously, this is the first one, so if you have any ideas after or anything like that, feel free to let me know. I also see Brad jumped on too as well, and he's our executive director. Some of you may know him. He'll jump on a little bit later to chat as well. So just to get started, can everyone see the chat screen at the bottom where you can mute yourself? There's a button that says chat. If you open that, you can type in there, and if everyone can do that right now, what we're gonna do is, I just thought for fun, we would do a little Corvid trivia. I only have a few questions, but just to get your brain rolling and get your birding brains on. I will pull those up. Sorry, 1 second. So what we're gonna do is, I just have like 5 or 6 questions just for fun about corvids, because that's our topic. It won't always be about corvids every time, but whoever, if there's someone that answers the most right, the quickest, then we'll give you, Brad has some IAS stickers. They're really cool. They're new ones that we just got, and we can send those off to you. So if everyone has their chat up and ready to type, the first question I have is, which species in the world is the largest of the Corvidae species?
You said in the world?
Yes. Yeah, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Common raven, yes. Matt is correct. It is a common raven is the largest. Good job. All right, let me keep track of that. Okay, next question is, approximately how many species of corvids are there worldwide? And I'll take within like 10. We'll see how close you guys get. 100. Ooh, Pam hit it on the head. There are 120 approximately. Good job. All right, next question is, which species is the smallest of the corvid species in the world? This is worldwide. Testing your skills. Hummingbird. Good guess. Smallest species, blue jay, good guess, but not quite. It is in the jay family, I will give you that. Thinking size, scrub jay, no. BJ. Solid guess. Dwarf jay, you are correct. It is the dwarf jay, although there was a lot of good guesses on there. So, Matt, again, good work. All right, next question I've got. All right, these are a little bit trickier. Which Greek god is the raven sacred to? Which Greek god? Not Hera. Good guess. Nope. Getting out your Greek mythology this morning. Any Hades? No. Any other guesses? Apollo is correct. So the raven is sacred to the Greek god of Apollo. I did a lot of research to find that. Nice work, Sky Lily. All right, I have 2 more questions just for fun. These are a little bit more complicated. The word corvus originally means what in Latin? Really smart bird. No, but good guess. It's got to be cheaters out there Googling it, right? Full of virus. Would fit the times. Trying hard not to use my dictionary. Oh, well, good. I have a lot of honest people. Something to do with beak. No. It's actually crowned. No, I'll give you a hint. It sounds complicated, but it's actually what you'd probably expect. Yes, it is a crow or a raven. So little, like one of those things that, oh, of course, but is almost too simple. So nice work. And then the last question, trying to stump you here. So actually, corvus in Latin has 2 meanings. One is the bird, the raven or the crow. What is the other one? You might have to Google this one quickly. What is the other Latin meaning? Basket. No? Good guess. It's totally random. I'll give you that. Yes, I'll repeat the question. So the term corvus in Latin has 2 meanings. One is the raven or the crow. And I'm asking, what is the other meaning? It's a noun. Fruit. Not a fruit. I'll let you cheat on this one. If you aren't already. Manly man, no. Any other guesses? Otherwise, I'll give it to you guys. 30 seconds. Constellation, good guess. Rook, good guess. As a creative. So it actually was a noun used for a gangplank, which was used by the Romans to board ships. So corvus means crow or a gangplank, but I'm pretty sure we only use the crow version these days. So yeah. All right, so that's a little bit trivia. Just wanted to get you guys' brains rolling. I'll have more, maybe less Corvid related ones, but I thought we better start out with Corvid because it's coffee and Corvids today. So thanks for playing. I have Matt and Sky Lily both have 2. So maybe while we're talking and you guys are discussing later, I'll come up with like a tiebreaker one or something like that. All right, so next I kind of wanted to just open it up. I know we have 22 people here, so it might be a bit much to do a ton of intros, but maybe just to mess around with Zoom so you guys kind of get familiar with it. On the bottom, there is a reactions tab by the chat. If you are from maybe the Indianapolis area calling in from today, can you put like a thumbs up or a clapping just to see where everyone's kind of calling in from today? It's in the reactions. Wonder if I can see it. Awesome. Indianapolis. Just a manual thumbs up. I like it.
That's cool.
Awesome. Great. What about you can turn those off if you put the reactions on. What about who's calling in from maybe, what are some other areas? Outside of the Chicago area? I know we have some people in there, or northern. The iPad toolbar is at the top. Oh, good to know. Ooh, lots of hands there. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. Great. I can't scroll too much. How about, what are some other ones we have? Brad, you might have to help me with this one since I'm here.
How about Southern Indiana?
Chesterton, Indy, Carmel. Awesome. So we got everywhere. Connorsville. Anyone calling from out of state besides Chicago area? Just curious. Any out of
Karen,
state?
where are you at today?
Georgia.
Awesome. I think you're the winner from the farthest.
Karen, what's the weather and the newest bird you've had down there?
Don't see
So the I think you've had this one up in Indiana, the Louisiana water thrush, and the weather today is only going to be a high of 60, so it's a little cooler.
only. Awesome. Well, thanks for calling in. That's great. I guess, yeah, we can just kind of open it up to from then on. I thought it would be a good time for people to discuss any new recent bird sightings they've seen. Karen said the Louisiana thrush is around in Georgia, but anyone seen it in Indiana yet? Or other new sightings that you guys have come across? You can unmute yourself to talk as well during this time.
I have nesting barred owls in my yard.
Ooh,
Right now.
awesome.
Really
That's great.
excited about that.
Wonderful.
So I've started to explore the Purdue Northwest campus, which is right by our house since we're at our stay-at-home order or whatever. So I've been kind of tracking birds coming in there, but every day we walked around, we found new birds. So the last couple of days we had like a few chipping sparrows, which was, I think, new to the area. Had a towhee, an eastern towhee.
Great.
Yeah, so we've had a few things every day kind of trickling in. Like, you can tell it's migration, but
Yeah. It's an awesome time to be, quarantined and out birding. You got nothing else to do, right?
yeah, I'm exploring some great new habitat in these areas that I never knew existed around the campus. It's been fun.
Awesome. That's really great to hear. Yeah.
I had a local park near my house, and last year there was a large red-tailed hawk nest in this park. And this year we were walking, and I also know that great horned owls hang out in that park. And sure enough, the great horned owls stole the red-tailed hawk nest and have 2 baby owlets there. So that's been exciting to kind of watch those baby owls get from little to big. And they're probably going to be leaving the nest soon. They're pretty big at this point, but that's been a lot of fun to see.
Cool. That's awesome. It's like
Where is the owlets?
At University Park, it's in Greenwood off Main Street.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I had brown-headed cowbirds yesterday and today in my backyard for the first time this year. Very not happy about it, but it's a reality.
Sounds like you need some Cooper's hawks.
I have those too, but so far they haven't been munching on the cowbirds.
Also, I should comment, I love your background, by the way. I need to work on mine for next time.
I decided to go on a hike this week because the forest preserves and stuff in Chicago are still open, given that people practice social distancing. But I saw 2 common loons and a big group of common Merganser, which was my first time seeing common Merganser, so I don't know how common they are, but that was fun.
That's awesome. That's great.
I've just been backyard birding. We have the brown-headed cowbirds the last few days. I still have juncos, Chipping sparrows came about a week ago. I'm pretty sure I saw a brown thrasher in its typical nesting spot, but I didn't get a good enough eye. Red-winged blackbirds. We have a neighborhood pair of red-tailed hawks that I'm pretty sure I see their nests, but I haven't gone into the woods to explore it. It's really wet.
Yes.
The goldfinches are changing. They're this mottled look right now, which is cool. Chipping sparrows, I don't know if I mentioned that. A lot of robins, blue jays. A lot of woodpeckers, a lot of red belly.
Mm-hmm.
They've just really devoured the suet. I'm out of suet now, so they're gonna have to be on their own for a little while.
Great, thanks. I also, I believe, saw a brown thrasher out. I was on a hike just near my house, so yeah, I think they're coming around.
How long can I leave suet out before it doesn't look to be moldy, but there's not many birds eating it?
Ooh. Anyone got an answer?
I think it would be okay. It's pretty cool. It would just get rancid once it's really warm for several days. Maybe,
Okay.
maybe they're finding something else right now.
Yeah, I would think you should be able to.
Thank you.
I think you should be a while. In worst case, try it.
Well, it's been quite a while already. It's been up all winter. I've had 3 different suets and they don't go through it very fast, except for the pecan nut balls.
If it's been up for months, I think I would change it out or give up on it.
Okay. Okay. Do you suggest like throwing it on the ground for the squirrels?
You'll
No.
attract raccoons. Be careful.
Okay.
I should mention we have probably a feeding expert with us here at the probably comment on that.
Yeah, I would be happy to. So with the suet, you definitely want to put your suet, with your suet out, you want to keep an eye on it, make sure it's not spoiling. You're going to see stuff start to grow on it. If you do, that's when you want to get rid of it. Make sure you clean and sanitize your feeder. You don't necessarily want to throw anything on the ground, especially suet-wise. It will spoil really, really quickly with the moisture from the ground. If you have a tray-style feeder that's open, and as long as the suet is not rancid, then feel free to crumble that up and break it in pieces and put it in a suet feeder or a tray feeder and see what kind of birds are going to come in. Because some birds really like to come to suet if it's crumbled up versus coming to a suet feeder. So give that a go. But if it's been out for months, it's probably not very good anymore. And you're going to want to replace that. The other is right now with springtime, we have a lot of insects that are starting to emerge across Indiana, and the birds are very happily going after all of those. So our suet feeding will start to slow down, and any suet in our yards is definitely a supplemental food for the birds. But the woodpeckers are one of the most regular feeder birds coming in pretty much at least once a day, even in the really slow times for feeder activity while they're eating all the regular foods. Even if they just come in and take a couple bites, that suet's going to last a while sometimes. But just keeping it fresh, keep an eye on it. If you need to, only put a little bit of suet out at a time. If it's a suet cake or a suet ball, break that and only put portions out. So give that a go and see how that works out.
Jumping in here on behalf of Wes, he says he's working, so he doesn't want to turn his mic on, but he says he's working in central Illinois and he has seen Smith's longspurs a few times the last few days and a very early returning upland sandpiper.
I was just going to mention, I know Sherry McCall had Smith's longspurs at the Lye Creek Burn And I was hoping to make it out to Kankakee Sands in the next couple days to start looking for them. So it can be kind of hard. You have to kind of walk out in the field and look for foxtail grass to find them. But all throughout the state right now, if you got some good grasslands, you can be looking for Smith's longspurs.
People mentioned brown thrashers. Yesterday at lunchtime, I had a brown thrasher on territory. Tried to get a good picture of it, but blue jay kept chasing it away. Also had first of the year northern rough-winged swallow. And the whole reason I was out at that particular location is we have a beautiful breeding plumage eared grebe out on the water. That's at Geist Reservoir in the Indianapolis area.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Recent sightings, anything you want to share about maybe how you've been going out, or if there's cool locations, keeping yourself sane during some of our quarantine and social distancing?
I just wanted to say it's nice to not have to go very far to actually bird. This is a new yard for me. We've been in this house since September last year, and I thought it was really awesome that my owls, if you could see this tree behind me, they are in that the barred owls are in that broken off section of the tree, which is right about there. And this morning he was bringing mice into her. It's really cool to be able to sit on my porch and watch them interact with each other.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's like you have National Geographic right there.
It's pretty cool.
That's great.
Also got Cardinals and Blue Jays calling.
I think I saw, and somebody, I'm fairly new at this, and I have a feeder out front right outside on my patio. I think yesterday I had a pine warbler. Would that be too early for them? I mean, they were at that feeder for a long time, and I wrote down all the features, sketched it out, and I'm just wondering. It just seemed like that they were, but would there be any other options?
Maybe yellow rump warbler too, but pine warbler I think we're at the very beginning where like they probably would be. It'd be reasonable for them to show up. I don't think it would be crazy for them to be around yet.
Okay.
I had a pine warbler in southern Indiana last week.
Yeah.
Spring meadow
Okay.
area.
And I'm in Carmel, so I'm in central Indiana, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
And there were two of them at the feeders.
Yeah. I've seen other people that have pictures of them coming to feeders. I think, most of the other warblers you don't really see at feeders, but for some reason pine warblers, it's not uncommon to see them at feeders. I don't know. Maybe on Suet. Were they on Suet or were they on? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was a cardinal mix, and they were out. I mean, it was a good 3-4 minutes. I mean, they just sat there and were just enjoying breakfast, and gave me a lot of time to look at their features. I had my binoculars right on them, so that's the only thing I could think of, and they were beautiful.
Yeah.
With the stripe on the side and the yellow breast and.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably what they were. That's really cool.
Well, good. Then that's a first for me.
I had a osprey here in Martinsville, just outside, yesterday.
Dennis showing us that Sandhill Cranes have arrived in Chesterton. And
Hey.
that area they're breeding.
All right.
Margaret, if you get pine warblers come to your feeder, they're almost exclusively at Suet feeders.
That's good to know.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing, everyone. If you think of other things, let us know for sure, or any general questions you may have. Brad, did you want to talk about the Corvid experience that's going on right now?
We just figured since it is Coffee and COrVIDs, as some of you guys probably know, and just to give you guys all updates, that we are having a pretty cool experience going on up at the Indiana Dunes with the first common ravens in many years. And if you didn't hear last year, Kyle Victor, the counter up at the Dunes Longshore Tower, had a raven fly by at the end of March. And that raven was the first common raven in Indiana in over 50 years. There were a couple other previous records, one in the Wolf Lake area of Northwest Indiana. And so it was pretty spectacular that not only did he have a raven fly by, but there had been a raven report just north in Michigan in Berrien County just like days earlier. So it could be a raven that was on the move, and he was flying west towards Illinois. Was not seen again. And here nearly to the date, a year later, Kyle had another raven fly by, and this time he was able to capture video, which some of you guys may have seen. It was on YouTube, and you can briefly hear the little croak, and then the flight style, and then a couple crows that dive bombed it. So it was enough to confirm it that it was indeed a common raven. And then just a few days later, here at the end of March, he had two flyby. And this time he had Brendan Grube with him, who also got to observe the sighting. So we apparently have common ravens in the dunes right now. Whether they're sticking around or wandering somewhere, we don't know. We do know that every day that he's had them, it's been pretty much a southerly wind, so it's maybe pushing them up by the lakefront. They get dive bombed by crows as soon as they come by. And so it's definitely an opportunity. If you haven't visited the birding tower at the Dunes State Park, you're looking for south winds. So basically, if you look at the forecast and you see a warm-up from the days earlier, 50s, 60s right now, then that's a good chance there's a south wind, and you want to go up there. And he counts at dawn. The tower is big enough to stand 6 feet apart if you want, and you can count birds up there. The earlier the better. To be up there near sunrise is a good time. The ravens tend to have flown by at anywhere from 9 to 10 a.m. is when the actual sightings have occurred. I would expect that if there are two around, that they're going to be seen again, and it'd be a really cool bird to kind of get on your Indiana list, a bird that you're more used to seeing up in Minnesota or the UP of Michigan than here in Indiana. But I'm going to put in the chat box, I'll put a link to the wind map site that we use, the Windy, and that's a really neat site to see the wind forecast out for the next 10 days, and it'll visualize it. And if you see a strong south wind at dawn, then that's a cool morning to go up and visit there. So you can go out there and see the forecast for several days ahead to kind of get an idea if you want to go up to the Longshore Tower. Now that we are getting into April, that is the time when you get a whole bedlam of species, new arrivals every day. It's not just counting robins and red-winged blackbirds as it was in March. So there's a lot of cool diversity of things coming in as the phoebes will be flying by. And we're getting right now into the, we should be entering the flicker window, which is a fun time where you can see 1,000 flickers in a morning flying by. And just when I was down in southern Indiana last week driving through, I saw a lawn that had 9 flickers in it. So I was like, oh, the flicker flight is coming. And so they're moving their way up north right now. But it's really concentrated up there at that lakefront tower where you can see flickers going by the hundreds. So a lot of things to see right now in this particular corvid pair that is flying around. I think will continue to be seen for people that are out looking for them. And keep your eyes out for a really big crow and then listen for that croaking sound. And so you can actually see, I guess, 4 corvids in 1 year in Indiana if you really wanted to. That's all I got on the ravens, but something that's cool to talk about since we are Coffee and Corvids.
So what are all the corvids, Brad?
Well, if you want to get to 4 in Indiana, you can get American crow, you can get fish crow, of course your blue jay, and then the common raven. We do have a record of magpie for the state, and we know they do wander into Minnesota in the wintertime, so I guess keep your eye out for magpie, but I ain't going to promise anything.
I actually have a Corvid ID quiz if you would like to test your skills right now. That's a good segue, Matt, so thank you for that. Just give me a second. I need to do screen sharing to make sure it works. 1 second. I don't want to show you the answers, so. I'm guessing you guys can't see that. Can anyone see that?
Not yet.
Okay, 1 minute. Trying to screen share. Does anyone know on PowerPoint how to do the slideshow, but in small view? We'll just go like this. All right, 1 second. Sorry for the technical difficulty. I had this all figured out, but of course now it's going to be difficult. Okay. All right, can you guys see that now? Everyone see the screen? Okay, perfect. Okay, so I just had to do a little cheating. Can you still see it if I do that? Yes, okay, perfect. All right, so same thing with the trivia. If you guys just want to type in the box what you think it is, and then we'll go through the answers just for a little bit of fun. Let me pull up the chat.
You have to click on some buttons. I've lost a chat screen.
Oh, shoot. All right, everyone get your chat back up. Someone asked, where did you see the woodcocks? Whoever saw the woodcocks may want to answer that. I know there's some over at Celery Bog, I heard, but other than that. All right, so Corvid ID challenge. Here we go. Then you can't see the PowerPoint, the chat screen. Can you guys still see the PowerPoint with the chat screen? Everyone? You can minimize the chat screen.
My mouse around, and then the bottom bar came back, and I was able to click chat, and it's a window. And I just moved it to the side so that I can see the PowerPoint and the chat at the same time.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Brad.
Or of course, unmute yourself and yell it out.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we're gonna get started. Are you ready? Maybe. There we go. First one. Blue Jay. Nice work, Caitlin. All right, Blue Jay. Good job. Caitlin. I got to keep track of you guys' scores. Next up. Ooh, tricky.
Blue jay.
This is not a blue jay. Is this scrub? What kind? Scrub jay. It's like tricky. You guys kind of got it. I mean, Caitlin got it. It's a Florida scrub jay. This is the Florida scrub jay.
Canada jay.
Very good. Teresa, I think, got that, and Maureen. I think they were about the same time. I'll give it to both of you. This is a Canada jay. All right, next one. All right, some of these are going to be a little trickier. I tried to pick pictures that would help you out.
Raven.
It is a fish crow, Margaret. Nice work. I tried to pick one by the water. Whoops. There you go.
Scrub jay.
It is a scrub jay. What kind of scrub jay? Woodhouses Scrub jay. I believe. It's supposed to be showing me the answers on here, so I don't even forget. It is the, no one got it, California scrub jay. Good try. All right, next up. Now it might be one that you already guessed. Woodhouses scrub jay, Woodhouse. Any other guesses? Opinion J. All right, gonna show the answer, 10 seconds.
Stellars.
Stellar J. It is the Woodhouses Scrub J. So think that was Pam that got that one. All right, next up. Maybe. One second. There we go.
Cool.
Other guesses? This one is the fish crow again. Ooh, tricky. I put a fish in it. I tried. I don't think anyone got that one, but that's all right. Tried to put a fish in. I'm sorry. I know these are basically identical, just depending on where they're found in the habitat, but got to throw you for a loop this morning. How about this guy?
Arizona.
Any guesses on this one? Cactus J. Mexican J. All right, 10 more seconds. Any other guesses? It is the Mexican J. Nice work, Matt. Sorry, guys. Thanks for bearing with me on some of these technical, slow things. Next one. Magpie. What kind of magpie? Oh. Good one, though. Anyone? Black-tailed magpie? Ooh. Oh, I gave that one to you early. I'm sorry. It is the yellow-billed magpie. These guys are found in California. I learned a lot looking these up, too. It's like working and learning. How about this one? Any other? No Indiana birds. There are a few, but with the corvids, I kind of went all over North America. Sorry. In next week's episode, I'll pick more Indiana birds. Margaret was right. It is the green jay. Nice work. All right, next up.
Raven.
Common raven. Nice job, Caitlin. Brad just talked about this pair. You can go see them. You can get a similar picture. Then I could have an Indiana picture. Send me some. All right, what about this guy?
Rage.
Guesses. Any other guesses?
Opinion.
Nice work, Teresa. I just like to give people some guesses. How about this guy? On our last trip to Oregon, I saw this. Nice work, Teresa and Caitlin. You guys were like tied there.
I gotta give credit to my son Zachary on that one. He got it.
Nice work, Zach. I saw this guy on our last trip to Oregon, and I got pretty pumped.
We were just out west, and we missed this one, and we were really bummed that we missed it.
My dad drew a picture for me.
Ooh,
So-
awesome.
Of
Yeah,
that
they're
bird,
really
so I kind of knew what it was right away.
nice. It was fresh in your mind then. Nice
It's
work.
fun to see when you like see it for the first time, but after I spent a summer camping in California and waking up to the sound of this every day, they weren't so cool anymore.
It's like having a blue jay outside your window, right? Awesome.
I agree. I feel that way about blue jays too. Yeah.
I've had a few outside of my window that I'm like, you're not as pretty as you think anymore. All right, next one. Guess is what kind of raven? Definitely essential. Any other guesses? This one's tricky. It's not found in Indiana. It is a Chihuahuan raven. Oh, Matt, I'll give that to you. I think you got it before I clicked it. All right, let's see how many more I got. I don't remember quite how many I have. How about this guy?
Where was that last one? Where would you find that last one?
That
Area.
The Chihuahuan raven is more in like northern Mexico, I think the range was, like southern New Mexico, a little bit southern Texas, it said on there.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yep.
You can find them, I think, in Arizona too, like during, someone will correct me. They kind of move up and down a little bit into southern Arizona, that southeast Arizona area too.
Oh, okay. Yep.
But they're really hard to tell apart from like common ravens are also in that area. Supposedly there's some white that shows through kind of underneath the black feathers, and that's how you're supposed to tell them apart, but it can be really tough to tell them apart. You have to really know the sounds, I think.
Gotcha. Awesome. There you go. All right, this one, a lot of people got. It is the black-billed magpie. We'll give that one to Teresa. Nice work. Let's see if there are any more. This dude. Clark's Nutcracker. Any other guesses? Favorites out west. It is the Clark's Nutcracker. Nice work. Brad, where exactly are these found out west? I remember kind of looking at the range map, but.
Well, they have a pretty wide ranging area in the high elevation areas, but you don't have to go too far because you can go right to the Black Hills of South Dakota and there, and of course up into the Rockies, and I've seen them stealing food at Banff National Park right from people as well. So they're pretty cool birds, I think.
We missed these in South Dakota, but we got them at Grand Teton National Park in October this past year.
Oh, awesome. It says you can see Chihuahua raven too. Huh. Awesome. All right, next one up. Maybe that might have been the last one. Oh, nope, we got this dude. Fish crow again. I believe. I can't even tell. There's water. That's a good guess. I should have. It is the American crow. I mean, these are tough to tell. I tried to pull a few pictures, but you got to throw some tough ones at you. That one to Margaret. Okay. Western crow. Oops. All right. I think that was the end of my PowerPoint. So those are all the corvids in North America. Good job, guys. Thanks for playing. Let's stop share. All right. Am I back now? Perfect. Okay. So the winner of that one, I believe, was Caitlin and Teresa. I think both tied, if I did my math correctly. So we have two tie. We have a tie from earlier, Matt and whoever Sky Lily is, and Caitlin and Teresa. So we actually have enough stickers that we can send to all four of you. So thanks for playing, guys. Yeah, no problem. I hope you had fun. Did you enjoy this? Like, would you want to do it again next time? Maybe not necessarily corvids. Awesome. Okay, I can put something together. Maybe next time I'll do a little bit more Indiana bird focused, or I'll pull some little brown birds for you to. Ooh, bird sounds. Good idea.
I thought Flycatcher ID sucks. Now I hate corvids.
Flycatcher ID. All right. I'm always really bad at the sparrows are not my forte. Good practice. Getting ready for migration calls would be good. All right, I'll see if I can get that. I'll see how that would look for sure. Warblers. So basically anything but corvids. Let's just not do corvids again. Cool. Well, that's kind of all I had, at least on my schedule. I know Brad has another little game we could play, but if anyone has any just like any general discussions or bird questions, any cool places you went and saw. I know I may not know all the answers since I just moved here about 3 weeks ago, but I'm getting used to it and trying to explore the area. I went to the Pine Hills area in Shades National Park, or State Park, last week. So it's cool. It's wonderful, and getting some good birding in. So any suggestions or anything like that, I'm always open to.
I have a quick plug. I don't know if I know it's the coffee as well, but I'm drinking the bird-friendly coffee from Warbler Coffee that Jeff Canada recently runs and opens.
Okay.
He is a small business, and I know he's really scrambling, and he just recently opened in the last year. So they do deliver their coffee, and you can order it ground or whole bean. I just highly recommend it and support a fellow birder and a fellow former IAS president. So if you have a little $15 or so extra, order some of their coffee. It's excellent. I've not had one that I've disliked yet. So, and it's bird friendly. So
yeah, definitely a bonus there. I know I don't have my bird friendly coffee today, but I often have the birds and beans. So another option and local is definitely great.
Yeah. And I'll say, if you're looking for places to go hike and be safe with social distancing, I have a place I would recommend not to go to. And this is just because of the way the trail is set up. Mm-hmm. But we tried for the first time, we went to Bean Blossom Bottoms Nature Preserve in the Bloomington area. And it is a small boardwalk through an area where you cannot step off that boardwalk. So if you are walking and you have people behind you or in front of you, it was very difficult to social distance at that particular location. Mm-hmm. It was beautiful and lovely, but I would suggest maybe doing that one another time. It was also busy. There were lots of people there.
And if you have a boot, don't go.
So it was kind of stressful hiking there on a boardwalk that you can't step off the sides on to allow space for people.
Or with a boot.
No, that's really
or
good.
as my son keeps saying, I'm in a walking boot right now, and it was very difficult with a walking boot too.
Because there was so much, like the board curved up, and then you had to take a step down.
Yeah.
Huh.
So be safe out there, and everybody, please do take this social distancing seriously, and give our healthcare workers and our essential employees a chance to do the good that they need to do. So thank you all for doing this today. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks. Glad you enjoyed it. And thanks for the tips. Definitely keep practicing social distancing. I'll make sure I know when I went to the park as well, there was a lot of people. So as it got later in the day, it was more and more complicated on the trails to stay apart. So awesome. Great. Well, maybe Brad will just maybe save your mnemonic for next week. Kind of other games. We'll just kind of wrap up. If anyone else has any other great ideas or great birding areas, let us know. This meeting is recorded, so we'll post it on the Facebook and make it accessible to everyone as well. And you can practice your Corvid ID, and maybe I'll have like one at the very end, and you can see how fast you can get through it. Great, no problem. Glad you guys could join us. Thanks so much. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye, thanks.
Yeah, thanks. Happy birding.
Nice job.
Thanks, Karen. Glad you enjoyed.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.